And we're live! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Live Reality Game Shows podcast. I'm your host, Lee. With me, as usual, is Nathan, who's having his Thanksgiving dinner a day late.
This is more like the post-Thanksgiving breakfast, so I'll mute whenever I'm eating.
Yeah. And today we will go over episode 2 and 3 of MTV's The Challenge All-Stars 2. We'd had to skip last week because I didn't get the episode till 3 days ago.
Oh my god, that late?
Yeah.
It's like the working hazards of living in another country.
Yeah, props to not being American. I may get none of the shame, but I don't get any of the good shows.
Which was a shame, because episode 2 was honestly like one of the best episodes of the challenge that I can remember in recent memory. So I really loved episode 2. I thought it was amazing.
I weirdly never got spoiled on episode 2.
Well, there's not a lot of talk out there. There's not a lot of
I didn't even know who went into elimination, and I didn't know who went home. It was just like,
wow.
I still don't know anything about episode 2, and it's been out for 5 days.
Wow. That's pretty talented.
So thank you, Twitter, for once not spoiling something for me, unlike what you did with regular challenge seasons, which are still terrible. But we had a good one 2 weeks ago when Crybaby went home, but we had a terrible one. Oh, wait, I don't know if you've seen the current episode.
I haven't seen it, but I think I've been spoiled by it.
So you kind of have an idea who goes home?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're sad about this last one. Happy about the one before, though.
Oh, yeah. So necessary.
Stop bringing Big Brother people.
Just don't bring that one. Just don't bring that one.
Don't bring that
one.
Leave him. Maybe a couple of the other ones too. Bring back the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about terrible challenge seasons. Let's talk about a good one. All Stars 2, episode 2, where we get back from Jody and Derek winning the challenge. Yay them.
Woohoo.
Yeah, and they're basically trying to figure out who to nominate because they had to nominate 4 people. And we learn it doesn't matter about pairs, it's individual people.
And I don't know. And I guess at this point, we still, I guess, don't even know after both episodes whether it's going to be individual eliminations every time or whether it's going to be people are going to be fighting in pairs. So, like, this could still change up. At any point
I think in the episode it said you're fighting for yourself in eliminations. So I do think it's still guy versus guy, girl versus girl.
I hope so. I like this more.
Yeah, it's much better than random people paired together in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like pairs when they're like last a season because then that relationship matters. But otherwise, like if it's a random pairing, it's kind of like then you can just get screwed if you get paired with the weak person.
Yeah, or you get picked to go into elimination by the person who went in and then get sent home. Yeah. We are still trying to recover that from Kendall last season. Yeah. So, did much happen before before the 4 nominees happened?
A little bit. It was mostly them talking with Nehemiah and trying to get a name out of Nehemiah. Ayanna has no opinion, but Nehemiah wanted
Ayanna has the opinion of, I don't care, I'm going to just defeat them anyway. You can send me against, like, Jody, Leah, Casey, TJ, Latarian. I'll send them all home. And then Nehemiah goes in and says right off the gate, I want to go against somebody who I beat before. My mind immediately went to Tech, since it's the most recent eliminations he's won. Mm. But he says Ryan, who he sent home on Gauntlet 3, which, like, okay, nothing new here. Ryan's on a season and people are telling him to go in first. Mm-hmm. And then Derek and Jody ask for a second name, and then he says Derek C. And then I'm like, oh, so you want to go against the 2 gays?
I don't want to say homophobic.
We're not saying homophobic. We're just saying it's a coincidence.
It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great, Nehemiah, when you first associate weak with 2 out of the 3 gay guys on the season.
And 2, they're the only names you're giving.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not great. It's not great. Also not great. Spoiler alert. When 2 gay guys go home in the first 2 eliminations, If Tyler goes home next week, this season is officially homophobic. This season, the cast, the challenge, everything is homophobic
Cancel
about
the challenge.
It's
Cancel the challenge.
All
Stars is now canceled. The regular season is canceled. The show is canceled. Just watch Survivor.
It's not great. It's not great. And I think Derek C actually came in with some potential, surprisingly.
Yeah, that we sadly never got to see because the challenge is homophobic. Yeah, if Big Brother is racist, Survivor is sexist, the challenge is homophobic.
Which we knew this already. We knew this.
Yeah. There's a reason why there's no gay people anymore on regular challenge seasons that we remember.
There's been 3 gay winners, in the history, or something like that.
Let's see, Tyler. Who are the other 2? Frank.
There may have been was Shane ever on a team season where he won?
He never won, thank God. Technically, oh wait, no.
I'm surprised he's not back. Or maybe he was asked and declined.
Oh, I hope he doesn't come back. He was so annoying when he came back.
I don't mind him.
No. No, don't bring him back. He add him to the list of people never to return.
He at least did well in challenges.
Did he though?
Yeah.
Really?
He crushed water challenges.
So?
He can swim.
A final is not swimming. I thought War of the Worlds 2 taught us that.
Sometimes it is. But
enough of that.
Okay, going back to their deliberation. So Nehemiah throws out Riot and Derek C.
And then Derek. And then Jody and Derek are very much like, we'll give you Derek, but we're not nominating Ryan because
Ryan has so much social support.
Yeah, from, he has a lot.
Everyone.
And then poor Derek only has Jasmine and John A.
Yeah. And then there's this weird thing where Derek K comes out in an outfit that has a matching, it's like a Hawaiian shirt and shorts.
I think it's like a weird romper thing. Yeah.
It wasn't quite a romper, I don't think it would, but it was like matching patterns.
And everyone kept making fun of him.
Yeah, and new guy Steve made a comment about his outfit, and Derek did not like that. He took much offense at his outfit being criticized.
The reason they nominated Steve, just because he made a slight comment on Derek's outfit. I'm sure he wasn't the only one.
Well, it seems like Steve really does not have any social capital with this cast because he has been so far removed from not just the challenge being on seasons, but the challenge of being connected to anybody. Has not talked to people, has not been on Twitter, is disconnected, and we
saw in episode 2
really
how
suffering.
Important that can be.
Yeah, he's really suffering for social capital here.
It's like his only connection is Katie and Sophia because they were on the same road rules together, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think because Tina and him competed together in that first challenge, Tina sees, he's a number she could pick up, and now she's kind of protecting him too.
Yeah, we saw that in the 3rd episode. We'll get to it.
But she can't protect him here because she's not in power.
No. So that's the guys' nomination. When it comes to the girls, it's pretty much like nobody knows Leah, and Casey's popular.
Yeah, it's more like Casey has a reputation for being weak, so
yes,
they just throw her in to nominations for that.
Yeah, because we need a filler one. We'll just send in Leah because nobody will be upset. And
Casey is quite offended.
Yes. It's because everyone's like, oh, we can just nominate Casey. Why don't we nominate Casey? Because I think we all remember the Ruins, how every person is I think she was up for elimination a lot of the times. Her name is always an option to go in. And nobody ever picked her because it's an easy win if Casey is still on the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you leave her to tank the team. But here, you kind of do want to send her into elimination if you think she is weak. It's how this season works. The people who are weaker, A, they lose the challenges, and B, they can get voted in because there's less repercussions for them to,
Yeah, because they're not going to come back. They're most likely going to lose the elimination.
what they do have going for them is that new power, which we'll get into later. So
yes. So we see the 4
girls'
people.
elimination.
Yep.
Jasmine and Danae are not happy.
No, they're like, how dare you come for our Cancun trio.
Mm-hmm.
And Nehemiah is pissed because Ryan's not up there.
Yeah, which, okay, they never promised him that they would put both names up.
Yeah, they even said it to his face, we're probably not going to nominate Ryan, but we'll give you one of the options.
Yeah, Nehemiah has no right to be upset.
No. Okay, so it does look, Facebook is looking like it's having problems. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. Yeah.
Oh.
It says, we are having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook's end. Stream might end or be deleted, but we're still on YouTube and Twitter.
Okay, it looks like the stream ended on Facebook.
Oh no. Is there a way to sort that out?
I don't know. I have no idea. We can
help.
We can just. We should be able to restart it, right? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay, we're live again.
Oh, are we?
No. Sorry, I was listening. I turned on the Facebook one, and I heard you say we are live.
No, that's the recording. So Facebook is dead.
Okay, well, it'll be on YouTube. We'll just direct people.
We still have YouTube and Twitter. Nobody's on Facebook anymore.
Okay.
So
well, sometimes it's okay.
Yeah. So Nehemiah is pissed that Steve's name is up there and not Ryan's.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they pretty much kind of told him, we're probably not going to nominate Ryan. Can you give us another option? And they gave you the other option. And he goes around to everyone saying, Derek's a snake.
Yeah, it really went on a campaign for Derek.
Yeah. Have we figured out why they have this weird rivalry with each other?
I don't think they do. I think Nehemiah just wanted an easy option, and he was afraid for one of the first times I can remember. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, are you really that good of a child?
Aggressively throwing Derek's name
everywhere.
Derek's name out, but you know what? It's in this situation is in these games when it's that early, people will just take a name and latch onto it, especially because Nehemiah is the other person going to elimination. They can just say, well, I was respecting his wishes and kind of wash their hands of it, because everyone's trying to wash their hands of any association with their choices of votes, so that it doesn't come back to bite them later. So that Nehemiah is playing into that smartly by throwing out his name really aggressively.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of this is what the other person wants. I'm sorry, but I will vote for you.
Yeah, which is a bullshit excuse. And if I was playing, I'd be like, that's not a reason. Like, vote for yourself.
Yeah, don't vote for this other person just because they lost in the challenge. Well, I don't get a say just because I didn't lose.
Yeah.
So he goes around pretty much telling everyone he wanted Ryan, and vote Derek. He even says it to Ryan. Like,
which is so stupid.
Yeah, why tell him? Yeah, I originally wanted you, and I was hoping it was you because I can beat you. But they didn't give me what I want, so now I want this other one that's not you.
And here we start to get a campaign from this coalition of Cancun plus Ryan trying to rally votes to save Derek and send in Steve.
Yeah. And we have Nehemiah going around saying, give me Derek.
Mm-hmm. Then I think this is where they do the dress-up party. They get ready.
No, I think that's after the nominations. Yeah, it's after nominations. I'm pretty sure that happens. So we get to nominations. Every house gets a vote. They pick one guy and one girl. And the majority of votes land on Derek and Leah. To where Leah comments, I guess I should have social media then.
Yeah, if you're on the challenge, you should.
Yeah, she comes to the realization that she should be liking tweets and posting comments on Instagram in order to not be voted into elimination.
That's minimum.
Yeah. And now we get to the part. Derek's obviously not happy, and neither is the Cancun trio.
Yeah. And Derek is really upset and kind of out of it. And Janae and Jasmine are noticing.
Yeah. Because we get to a party scene. We love party scenes. It seems like it's a random dress-up party.
Tyler and Derek see.
Yeah, we get the return of. Yeah, we get the return of Anit and what was Tyler's name again?
Tundra, who has good intentions but is horrible with boundaries.
Like most people.
Yeah, no, I love the drag. We need more drag to challenge. Can you imagine? Can they bring in drag queens for future challenge seasons?
I mean, I've always thought of I think I mentioned this before, it was like they do a battle of the seasons, but they bring girls from Drag Race on.
It'd be so good. It'd be so good.
Yeah. Give us some more Drag Race contestants. Give us any.
That would be amazing.
Yes. Stop giving us this, like, stereotypical straight pretty boys that you see on, like, X on the Beach or Love Island.
Yeah, I want to see how CT can navigate drag queens, because I don't think he can handle that shit.
Yeah. Oh, bro, CT versus Latrice.
My money's on Latrice.
I mean, Latrice was in prison. She knows how to survive things.
Oh gosh.
Oh, great! Now I'm just imagining like the current cast dealing with like a couple of Rue girls.
I'm so here for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we learn a very tragic news. That the day before he left, Derek C's sister committed suicide.
Yes. And he still can't. Were you gonna say something?
No, go. You go.
Yeah, it's very tragic that Derek had to go through that, and the day before he came out as well. You see on these shows, like when something like that happens, it can mess with you in your head.
So much so. I cannot imagine going through that and then immediately disconnecting yourself from all of your support. And at the same time, it's like, I'm sure he was like training and getting ready for this for months ahead of time.
His sister was his biggest supporter, encouraged him to say yes to this all-star season.
Yeah. It was really, really surprising. I didn't expect this to come up. But, you know, Janae and Jasmine just like, and Brian just surround him and start, you know, try to lift him up with that.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine doing that.
Yeah. We hope that Derek and his family and anyone that knew Brianna are doing well and dealing with what happened to her.
Yeah,
and he's gonna fight the elimination for her.
That he is. And just while we're on the topic, I think it's always responsible to put out some information whenever we bring up suicide. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, for the United States listeners anyway, is 1-800-273-8255. And you can also go to the trevorproject.org, which specifically is an organization that helps LGBTQ youth with suicide, but you can reach out for help there if you or someone else needs it.
Yeah. If you know someone, just reach out and talk, because you never know what they're going through.
Yeah. But this really colors this whole episode and this elimination. I feel like the Leah Ayanna elimination really took a backseat to this storyline. Yeah.
The only thing we really got from then was like Ayanna being like, we're going to fight it out, we're going to have a good elimination, and we're going to do it great. Ayanna was like really like cheering up Leah and being like, we're going to just kill this elimination. Very like delusionally positive, if that's one way to describe it.
It really was, yeah. Without any real reason to back it up.
Yeah. She's just like, we're going to do it, and do it with a smile, in the words of Casey in the next episode.
Yeah, so this was an interesting elimination. I like that it was called Dead Weight. and they had to.
Can we talk about how they
chains.
first entered the elimination, like Bulls being
Oh,
set free?
yes. I really like it. I think it's cool. They do a little like slow mo of like them getting pumped up by themselves,
running through like their football players on a field, or gladiator times.
Yeah, very much feels like Gladiator. I also think they used to do this in older seasons, and I do like it because they used to have like separate entrances, and nowadays they just call them down from the group. But I like the separate entrance. It creates a little bit of suspense. I don't know.
Yeah, really brings the fight into it.
Yeah.
Not just, okay, you on the far end that's just been called into elimination, make your way all the way down the line, down the stairs, run up, okay, take off your jacket. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me explain this elimination that you've been trying to figure out what it is.
What do you think of the elimination arena?
It's like, it really is like a bull ring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like a classic elimination arena. Still good. More cool entrances.
Yeah, I appreciate the entrances. And it kind of highlights each person's personality a little bit.
Yeah.
To have that little spotlight.
It's very much like in the red corner, in the blue corner. Very much like that. So the elimination is dead weight, where there are 3 coffins that weigh 300 pounds. Is it 300 pounds each? Like per coffin?
I think they were different weights. It looked like they were different weights.
No, I think they were all the same weight. The chain was different lengths. So there's a puzzle in each coffin with a length of chain to pull across and hook. The harder the puzzle, the longer the chain for you to pull. First one to pull all 3 coffins wins.
Yeah, and you don't know which puzzle you're getting until you open the coffin. So it's kind of a little bit of luck in terms of what order you do. Although I don't know how much that actually played into this elimination, except for maybe Derek. I guess it hurt Derek a little bit.
Maybe, yeah, because he had the harder puzzle first. But I think Nehemiah had the same puzzle. No, he had the different one.
No, Nehemiah had the same one, I think.
Yeah, so he had the same. He had the same puzzle. He just figured it out quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently,
but it made it harder for Derek to like get his head in the game.
Yeah, and apparently there's one with no puzzle where you just get the chain and pull it. So it happens. Nehemiah is in the lead, but he struggles on the last puzzle. Derek catches up and makes it a very close race, but unfortunately, Derek C does lose, and Nehemiah wins. Yay for Nehemiah.
He did start to come back. Derek C.
Yeah,
he fell behind immediately in the puzzle, but by the end he was pulling the last one at the same time Nehemiah was pulling the last one. So it did turn out to be pretty close.
Yep. So well done, Derek. And then we get to the girls' elimination, where Leah struggles to open the carabiner. I mean, first she struggles to open the coffin, and then she struggles to open the chain.
This was like struggle after struggle after struggle.
Yeah. At one point you felt kind of bad because it's not like she's like having difficulty pulling it or being held up by the puzzle. She just can't open the carabiner.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. And then you have Ayanna, where apparently they're just floating across when she's pulling them.
Yeah, Ayanna seemed to be like just having no problems whatsoever with this challenge. Which made it look all the worse when Leah can't even budge one of them.
Yeah. I mean, she even needed Ayanna's help at the end to pull that one across the end after the elimination, which was a nice moment because it was like, you are going to finish this elimination.
It was nice. I felt more moved. I know Derek K, he was like, this is never happens in the challenge. I'm going to show my kids this moment. And I'm kind of like, this felt like a lot. I don't know. It was fine. It was good. It was nice of Ayanna to like have that teamwork and kind of to inspire Leah to dig into find her own power. I think that's great. Woman sticking by woman. I was really I was just more touched with like the support for Derek C by his friends and in the wake of his sister. How they were. You know, drew him up with a tattoo and everything.
Yeah, spelled with an E, not an I. Yeah, so sadly that is the end for Derek and Leah. Once again, Derek goes home first in a challenge. And Leah, we hardly knew ya.
And Leah loves some of you, but not all of you.
Yeah, love some of you guys, but not all of you.
Oh, that was good. The life shield, and then they get a. I don't think we're going to see Leah back. I do think we could see Derek C back.
Yeah, I think we could as well.
This was a big storyline. He really popped through this episode especially. Yeah. He was the star of the episode through and through.
No more Neat. We're not going to get any more Neat now.
Yeah, so it's sad that he's gone, but I totally can see him back next season.
Yeah,
because he came in with a crazy impossible task of getting over this emotional trauma and somehow focusing enough to win. Like, there's no way he was gonna last very long, even if he survived this elimination. You just can't have your head in the game when a loved one dies like that right before you leave.
Yeah. Plus, it doesn't help that he's gay and Nehemiah's homophobic.
Doesn't help that
allegedly.
It would have been big though if he beat Nehemiah. I think he is no longer tossed in as quite as quickly.
Yeah, and then sorry, Leah, we hardly knew you.
Yeah, I don't think she's coming back. I do appreciate her being a little sassy at the end. But she just doesn't.
Maybe download the Instagram. Maybe not Twitter, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't even think that's enough. It doesn't seem like she worked on her physicality as much as other contestants did to prepare.
Learn how to open a carabiner, maybe.
Yeah, that's not great. She seems like somebody who's gonna flop in eliminations no matter when. Like, if I was to pick someone to go up in an elimination against out of this entire cast, I'd be like, Leah, absolutely Leah. She's gonna fuck it up.
Not Casey?
No, I'd pick Leah. I believe in Casey's elimination skills infinitely more than Leah's.
Well, that's the end of Derek and Leah, and then that's the end of episode 2 as well. We flip over to episode 3.
Can we talk about the lifesaver power?
Yeah.
Life shield?
Life shield. The life shield is back, but different.
Is it? It's not lifesaver because that was the other power.
It's the same.
Kind of, yeah. It functions a little differently than before.
Yeah. So basically, in the lifesaver, it basically means you are safe for the next challenge if you come last, and if you don't come last, you can save someone in nominations. But if you do that, you cannot vote.
Yeah.
I think after seeing this power and having thought of it, if you have the lifesaver and come last, you can purposely come last and pick whoever you want to go into elimination.
Not quite, because it seemed like the choice was up to the team to decide who would be the new captain, and Ayanna just kind of seized the power there. But it did.
No, I mean, I didn't say that's why she did it. I'm saying for future times. Let's say Jody comes last on purpose in this next challenge, and she picks Tina to go into elimination immediately.
Oh, because no one's going to argue with her, kind of thing.
I mean, she'll have the sole option because I think it's the picker of the lifesaver.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it was.
Yeah, because Ayanna was the sole decision, I think, to go in. I think it was her decision to send Sophia in all on her own. I don't think anyone else had any other say.
They could have voted as a team to decide on the new captain, or to the new person to send in. They just decided to not vote.
Yeah, but we'll get into it when that event comes. Because, what do you think of the new lifesaver twist?
I like it. I think it gives not too much power, but just enough power to the winners of elimination, so they can't repeatedly be thrown in over and over again.
It's like the relic in War of the Worlds 1, but with more power.
Yeah, but it only lasts a round, which I also like.
Which is very nice.
One round, and then you're back to being vulnerable again, which I think that's good. I think it means that new names will have to get tossed out sooner.
Yeah. And since we're running out of gays, they have to start targeting the straights now.
They have to, because there's only one gay left.
Yes, and I don't think he's someone you want to send into an elimination.
No, definitely not.
No. So before we get to the challenge, a moment happens with Ayanna and Sophia, where they fight over braiding hair.
Yes. So what I picked up from this was Sophia wanted her hair braided by Ayanna, and Ayanna was going to do this, and they seemed to be getting along really well and kind of bonding. And then this way that Ayanna was braiding her hair triggered her to where she was discriminated against in the past from being I don't remember which country of origin she was from, but she was teased as a kid by her hair, and it was just kind of triggering for her. So really, Sophia really just needed to go and apologize for freaking out, because how could Ayanna know anything? But Ayanna also then started to go and complain and start a rumor mill about Sophia. And so it was just a feud that both of them ended up contributing to, that kind of started out of nothing. Really messy, really messy gameplay, really messy relationship-wise. And all it would really take is for one of them to get over themselves and to go and apologize.
Yeah. One quick sit down, be like, sorry I overreacted. Sorry I did this to you. Let's talk more. Great.
That's all it would take.
Let's make a tea.
Yeah.
And then, it was just very weird.
Yeah, it's not great. But I feel like a thing I noticed here is Jeanne was the one who was comforting Sophia. And I was like, good on Jeanne. She's playing the social game. She is picking up people when they're down. And, that's going to help her have support in the long run and keep her out of eliminations.
It worked out in this quick elimination, when we'll get to it.
Yeah. So I'm noticing that she's playing the social game really well these first few episodes.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more Jeanne this past 3 episodes than we saw all of last season.
Yeah, I mean, she was basically invisible last season. And you know what? I'm liking this Jeanne. Give me more active game playing Jeanne. I'm liking this new Jeanne. Early seasons she was very in the background, and
this is
a new person, new player.
She looks like now, if she was on Survivor, she'd do very well.
Mm-hmm.
With all the social.
I like how she has evolved so much. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I want more Jeanne. I'm becoming a Jeanne fan, if that's possible.
Yeah, I think we're all becoming a little more of a Jeanne fan. Good girl.
Because I definitely wasn't at the beginning of last season.
Yeah, it's not like we weren't fans. We just didn't remember she was there.
Yeah.
There's a difference between not liking someone and not remembering someone.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah. So we get to the daily challenge, and it's where they split into teams and have to first run somewhere to get puzzles. And then after they finish the first puzzle, they have to swim to get another set of puzzle pieces to finish the second puzzle. And then the first team to flip the lever wins. And they're bringing back captains. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't love it.
No.
I don't love it. I think it's going to be a little bit better this season because the players are using it in their strategy to hey, we're not going to nominate anyone on our team. And so now that'll create a little bit of drama. But I hate the captains. I hate it.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be a captain. There's no benefit really to being a captain unless you have a vendetta you're trying to squash. And you're really
it's either be the target or set the target.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do it. I would never repeat a captain. Absolutely not.
No, I kind of wish they were just all individual and pair challenges, like no teams. Or at least draw names to be a captain, like they did in
Or if it is teams, say that make it for the rules that everyone is safe if you win.
Yes. Yeah, everyone is safe.
If you're gonna do teams, give them stakes, because for me, like I wouldn't want to be a captain. I guess if you're a captain, you're safe, but the captain gets the power to pick. So you can also still make everyone else safe on the team from being nominated. But yeah, it's just like there's not motivation for people to try if you don't have some
if you're not the
positive stake. Yeah, like they're just supporting the captains. That's silly.
Yeah. So how the teams are determined, it's very much like you want to be on a team. It's like it's like one team, all of them were like standing right next to each other.
Yeah, it's just like instead of like actually thinking out, hey, who should be on my team? They just like, I'm close to these people in this, like you're on this half of the bleachers, like come over here.
Yeah, I don't remember who said it out loud. I think it was MJ, where he was like, "I'm noticing how all the strong people are on the other team," and then you see like strong players, and then you see like Melinda and Jasmine. Like,
yeah,
how did they sneak in?
Yeah, and even I guess Latrice's considered a strong player. But, I mean, you have Tina and Darrell and Nehemiah,
Tyler,
and she lives, of course,
Nehemiah.
with Darrell, Derek, Tyler, Brad. Like that is a stacked men's side of things. Katie is no slouch in team things either.
Because compared to carry her.
Yeah, compared to the physical strength of Ryan, Kahada, and Tech.
Yeah. So, and then on the other team, it's all them. Captains are decided. Tina and Darrell say like, I'll be captain. And then on the other team, everyone's like, pick a number between 1 and 10. And we'll decide captains randomly. Ryan steps up and just says, I'll be captain. And then the girls,
which is so dumb. It's so dumb. He was spouting it off as like a maturity thing, like, oh, I'm mature enough to go and just do what needs to be done. Ryan, look at the two teams. At least give yourself a chance here.
I think he probably saw
if he was on the other team,
maybe.
Yeah,
I think he saw
the other team swap out Laterian or something. And then he stepped as captain. I'd be like, okay, at least he can see he has a really good chance of winning.
Yeah.
Here.
I think he probably saw it's like they're more strong, but we're more smart, and this is a puzzle.
Since when does it ever work out on the challenge?
Never. Everyone knows
like very rarely
always wins.
It's very rare, and also people's intelligence are not so disparate that like your team is magically gonna genius your way through this thing while the other team flounders. Like these puzzles are not like that. It's more about teamwork. It's more about physicality.
It's more like planning.
It's which they didn't do. So like they, even as like the smart team, they failed at that.
Yeah, we all know who to blame, and that's Captain 4, Ayanna, who picks the lucky number and becomes captain.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how people were like, maybe Ayanna shouldn't be captain. She has the lifesaver, and if we lose...
Yeah, why didn't they object? I guess because no one else wanted to be captain, so...
Yeah. It's like, well, I guess she'll be captain.
Yeah.
And then Ayanna drill sergeants everyone.
Yeah, she's really digging back into... Wasn't she like a track athlete or something? Or was Sophia? No, Ayanna was a track athlete.
Yeah, it was Ayanna. She mentioned that.
Yeah. So she's like digging into her coach athlete roots where she's, trying to coach a team without actually coming up with a plan.
Yeah, it's like, we're going to do great. We're going to win. Okay, yeah, but what are we going to do? We're going to win. Yeah. How?
Yeah, not great.
By doing great. And then I loved Casey's like, we have no idea what we're doing, but we're going to do it with a smile because Ayanna told us.
Mm-hmm. And granted, the challenge didn't look terribly complex. Like, it was gather puzzle pieces.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
run and get a
putting
puzzle
puzzles
piece
together.
and solve Tetris. And they
Yeah.
even had hints there as well.
Yeah.
Like,
but they could have, I guess, decided on partners. Like, hey, we don't want to send 2 weak people to go pick up pieces at the same time, kind of thing.
Yeah, because how the other team did it was like, all right, we'll say the smart people here, all you strong boys, go run and gather pieces.
Yeah.
And then I think the other team was like, okay, everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn to run and pick a puzzle piece.
Yeah, democracy doesn't work super well in team challenges.
No, it's very much like shut up and listen to a leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, which Tina is definitely more than capable of. Jasmine got challenge flashbacks like, oh god, was I like this back in the day? Why do you all like me? How did I have friends? It's like drill sergeant Tina is on the loose.
Yeah, Tina was really running her and it was kind of became another situation in this challenge, like the first episode, where Tina's on this team, the other team is Jody as their strongest woman, and Jody has this really smart strategy to like move the pieces in the water all towards the
forward,
all at once to the front, so to get in the water. And
smart on Jody, think smarter, not harder.
Kind of catches them up almost to the black team.
Yeah, but the black team win. They pull the lever, and Darrell and Tina get the reward, and then Ryan goes into elimination because he's the male captain. However, Ayanna has a lifesaver, and it turns out she gets to pick who gets to go in. I think it's either she gets to pick, or did TJ say?
TJ said, "Team, okay, now you all have to decide who's going to go in."
And
then
she
said, and then Ayanna was like, "You know what? I will decide, since I'll take this burden off of you, and I will give this gift of elimination to Sophia." Have you ever heard of elimination being a gift?
Maybe for somebody who wants to go home. So she makes this whole speech about it being a gift and says, I'm giving this gift of elimination to Sophia. And then, so it was a team decision on who goes in.
Yeah.
And nobody disagreed. Nobody can be like, no, I don't vote for Sophia.
No one disagreed. Sophia could object, but like she's one voice. So
yeah, it's like, okay, who do you vote to go in then? Yeah, it's like Sophia
you really need a friend.
She could have just picked a name. She could have said, no, well, I vote for, I don't know, who else is on the team?
There was also Kendall, Jody, Casey, and Janae. She would have had traction with Casey,
Yeah, I guess she could have said Casey.
She threw out Casey's name.
Yeah, she could have said, well, I vote for Casey to go in. And then everybody would have to go around and say either Sophia or Ayanna. Casey.
But
everyone was like, wow, Ayanna is so shady. She's so petty. It's like, none of you disagreed with her.
Yeah.
Like,
it was really petty, though. Just the fact that she tried to, like, frame it as though it wasn't a personal decision.
Yeah. Like I said, it's delusionally positive. She's very much like Coach. Not just Coach in general, Coach from Survivor. Maybe it's just a thing with coaches. It's just like they're always delusionally positive and they think everything they do is like the right decision. And this is what you need. You need to go on elimination and potentially go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So obviously Sophia's pissed.
Rightfully. She had no reason to be in elimination.
Yeah. I'm voting you in because you gave out to me when I braided your hair. It's very...
I do have to think, like, if she didn't go in this way, she probably was going to get voted in.
Yeah.
Or she would have at least been nominated.
Yeah, she definitely would have gotten a few votes.
because I have to imagine, end up nominating Jonna and Jody. I have to imagine Sophia's in there instead of Jonna.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really. Maybe she would have ended regardless. It's just the way she went in is very bad.
Yeah. It's fine. But Sophia's one of those characters who I didn't really know at all coming into this season, and I still don't know her.
Yeah, she was there. She cried, and now she's gone.
Yeah, and she was not in either of our drafts.
No. Speaking of drafts, it's time for Darrell and Tina to draft up who goes into elimination.
That it is.
Yeah. So Darrell is very much like people
pleaser. They don't talk to
like,
anybody. They just
we just get Darrell saying to people in his room, MJ, Kahada, and John A, being like, I'm going to try and not send anyone in this room. I just want to throw in Steve. I don't know who Steve is. Who is Steve? No one knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just want to throw him in. None of y'all get up there. But then we get to the nominations. And at first, Tina's like, okay, we're not doing anyone on our team. Which, reasonable. And then she comes up with
I think it's an interesting strategy. It's like
definitely
kind of playing the honorable game.
Yeah, it's definitely like right off the gate. You don't want to piss anyone off and throw in a member of your own team.
Yeah.
But then she comes up with this thing where it's like, we're going to turn all the names over, pick 4 at random, and those are the 4 we're nominating.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to pick 4 people at random. Yeah.
Yeah, and that gets vetoed.
Yeah. Darrell's like, why don't you just pick a guy and a girl? I pick a guy and a girl, and we just move on. And Tina's like, okay, how about this? We'll save 1 each. And then the last 4 left, they're up. And then that happens, and Tina immediately goes, I'm saving Steve. And Darrell's like, this ruins my whole plan.
Yeah. So she saves Steve, and
Darrell saves Kendall. She then saves Casey.
Okay, yeah.
And then Darrell saves Kendall, and then saves Kahada. And then the last 4 are MJ, John A, Tech, and Jody. Then Nehemiah comes in to see if he wants to use his lifesaver. Then, feeling the guilt of sending Tech home last season, he saves Tech. And then it's only down to Steve and Kahada, to where Darrell wants to throw in Steve, Tina wants to throw in Kahada. So then they come up with another stupid game where Darrell buries the names, Tina spins around and picks one at random, and whoever that person is goes into elimination. Yeah. And it turns out to be Kahada. So the 3 people Darrell told that they were safe are up for elimination.
This is not a good start for Darrell. No. Tina ran this nomination, and she got her way. She definitely got her way.
Definitely. And she makes it very clear that her target is Jody. Because Jody is tough competition.
She's Tina's biggest competition. If Jody's out there, Tina has a great chance to get to the end and win.
Very much so. Because who's going to beat her? Maybe Kendall. It's like Jody and then maybe Kendall. Kendall is very much in the background these first 3 episodes.
Yeah, but that... she's not being targeted, so...
Yeah, that's a good thing. Jody's now being targeted. Jody's now the new girl that's intimidating. Kendall is now the Kellyanne of the season. Where it's like, you're good, but you're not good as this other person.
Yeah, I do wonder if, now that Jody's been in, will people be more brave, bold to throw her in future times, because they can just say, well, you've already been in, so let's just make it another option.
Yeah, I mean,
since they all it's an excuse.
Yeah, it's like you already went in. And then we get to nomination ceremony, and then MJ says how he already sent Ryan home and he doesn't want to do that again. And then Ryan pretty much says, I want Kahada because I think I can beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sophia goes like, "It'd be an honor to be sent home by you, Jody."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
so really,
you're such a
Jody
strong woman that I want to be sent home by you. John A, you're shit. Jody.
Well, if you have to remember too, where you saw it in the beginning of the episode, John A was comforting Sophia.
Yeah. It's those
So
social
this comes
skills.
back at full circle to where like Sophia doesn't want to send in John A and go against her. She'd much rather like get if
Lose
she
to
does win,
Jody.
she'd much rather lose or come back into the game and still have John A there.
Yeah, John A, those social skills are working.
It's like not highlighted super strongly, but it definitely appeared in this episode, like the way that John A survived this.
Yes, and then pretty much the whole house agrees. Well, there were a couple of stray votes, but
yeah, I'm not keeping track of the voting super well.
Yeah, here I can quickly check
always
Wikipedia to see if they keep track of the votes because
it's
usually
so
easy.
many details.
Yeah, I like keeping track of the votes, but for Survivor, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's just the fact that there's so many people and they don't really like. I think it's kind of mentioned. Go in a circle.
Yeah, Wikipedia kept track of the votes, so it's like,
oh, hallelujah.
Yeah, the only people who threw votes on John A were Derek K, obviously, and then Tyler for some reason.
Yeah.
And then Derek K again is the only one that voted for MJ.
Yeah, I was curious about the Tyler vote. I mean, we haven't seen much Tyler, I guess, to this point.
Yeah, maybe he and Jody are closer than we think.
Maybe.
And Jody was very much like, I'll remember who said my name. Shit, the entire house just said my name.
Yeah, Derek K voted for John A. Well, yeah, because Jody is Derek K's.
Jody's his girl.
So maybe Tyler's working with Derek and Jody then.
Maybe. But he's still voting for Kahada. Against the guys, he just doesn't care.
Yeah. Interesting.
Did anything before the elimination?
Okay, sorry?
Nothing really happened before the elimination happened, did it?
No, they basically just go straight to Fireball.
Yeah. Basically, they play tic-tac-toe. There's the elimination.
Yeah, and just like tic-tac-toe, it's a game that's a little bit too simple for its own good.
Yeah.
Connect 4 would have been better, to be honest.
I think they did that. Didn't they do that in elimination?
I think they have, yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different show.
No, they've done like a Connect 4 type game before.
They have to.
But the problem with tic-tac-toe is once you get the center, you have control of the game as long as you can keep your running up. So it all has to do with the first sprint. And
a lot of staring, like.
Yeah, although the pressure we saw in both eliminations, the pressure got to people. But I guess we should set the scene for what the game is.
Yeah, so basically, there are 5 balls, and they have to run from one side to the arena to the other to put them in a 3x3 grid to make. It's tic-tac-toe. People know how to play that game. It's just tic-tac-toe with running, and so it's not very boring. The balls are on fire. And so we know whose is who. It's like green fire is Kahada, regular fire is Ryan.
Yeah. Which I do appreciate the fire. They have to wear like these. I think this contributed. They had to wear these big fireproof gloves, and I think it made it a little bit difficult to handle the balls.
Yeah, and probably
to where like there's a little bit of fumbling. Yeah, because they had
we saw a lot of dropping the balls.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they have to wear fire suits? Couldn't they just wear their regular uniform, potentially burn?
I mean, probably not. Probably not. That wouldn't have been great.
This isn't the first time where they're like, we're going to do a really simple elimination, but to spice it up, we're going to burn things. I'm pretty sure there was an elimination where they set a ball on fire. Oh, yeah, the Jay versus Rogan elimination.
Yeah, and didn't they just do a recent? They did the fire bridge recently in the regular challenge.
Oh, from Double Agents?
No, from this season of the challenge.
I'm not watching this season. It's shit.
Okay. They had like a fire bridge. Gosh, who was in that? Was that when I forgot already.
Hold on. Google is here to help. I mean Wikipedia.
It's one of the vets went home.
Okay, here we go. Eliminations. Layer games. There's probably one that says fire in it.
It was one of the
burn.
That might be it.
Nope, that one's not. Oh, here we go. Burning bridges. That's probably it. Oh, that's where Crybaby Clown went home.
Where Josh went home.
Who?
Yeah, so they just had that. So they're leaning into the fire, and I'm okay with it. Like fire is cool.
Yeah.
It's a good
burn
visual.
Down the building.
I just wish they had something more than tic-tac-toe. I wish it was like a Connect 4 because
give us fire snakes and ladders.
I also feel like this was such like a cardio challenge. Like if you're like who's ever faster is just winning it. Like the strategy.
I mean, we saw with Sophia, she was faster, but she did not win.
Yeah. I think the Connect 4 would have been better. It would have been even more strategy.
Now, if they had done it like Squid Games, where they made children's games into proper challenges, minus the death.
I can see that happening. You know, it's going to be hard for all reality shows to ignore the impact of Squid Game on pop culture.
I'm just imagining the next challenge elimination. They're all trying to cut out challenge shapes and like little cookies. While on fire.
While on fire, yeah.
That seems to like be the new cool thing. It's like, how do we make something cool? We could set things on fire.
Yeah. So this was it seemed pretty straightforward though. I mean, like Kahada was faster than Ryan, and I mean Ryan also messed up, but by putting it in the wrong spot. But it wouldn't have mattered because Kahada was faster than him every time.
There was a time where Kahada almost put something in the wrong spot till everyone was screaming at him, "No, they're bottom right corner." Yeah. Which I kind of wish Peanut Gallery shouldn't scream. Because I was like, let him make that mistake.
Yeah. It's also distracting. Like, it could be a distraction as well. Like, you don't necessarily know. Like, when you're running, you're not necessarily trying to listen to them.
Yeah. So, the predictable results we get, we see that Jody and Kahada win, and Ryan and Sophia are sent home.
Yeah. Sophia really did not stand a chance here, though.
No.
She did get the middle spot only because
she was faster.
Well, no, because Jody dropped the ball like literally. Right at the board. And Sophia like raced around her to put it in the middle.
It's like, move your head. I have this fireball I need to put in.
Which that was her one shot to win a round, and she still messed it up. Yeah.
So Ryan and Sophia are gone. Sophia, nah. Ryan, why did another gay have to leave?
Yeah, I'm sad. Ryan was fun.
He had good potential.
He had a fun moment this episode where Tina gave him dissolving swim shorts.
Yeah. I never want to get those moments anymore.
Yeah, it was just I'm enjoying these character moments we get. It was in both of these past two episodes. It was a lot of character moments. Everything was character driven. That's what I liked about it. It was like we learned this feud between Sophia and Ayanna. We learned why Sophia freaked out. We learned kind of more why Ayanna is not budging in the situation, and that fuels the drama for the episode. And I just think that's really compelling television.
Proper drama, not scripted ones like we got in the regular season.
Yeah. Well, and for the regular seasons, like I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
Nor do I necessarily care.
Yeah. Majority of them are pretty much like, I'm great at this game.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
If your only personality is like the athleticism you bring, it's not interesting.
It's either you're a boring athlete or a delusional medium player. Looking at you, Tori.
So I've lost my first draft pick with Ryan leaving the game.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, you have the lead here.
Yay. I didn't lose anyone so far, and we lost 3 people we did not care about.
If Kahada had lost, you have Kahada on your team, so that would have been interesting. It was either one of us was going to lose somebody.
Yeah, with Nehemiah in the first elimination. So far my picks are not doing that good. They keep ending up in eliminations. They keep winning them.
I still have Darrell, Derek K, and Brad, so I feel pretty good on that.
Yeah, I'm still annoyed you picked Brad. I mean, it's so stupid, but
I'm annoyed with myself a little bit, but I honestly I regret not picking MJ instead of Brad. I just didn't remember how big MJ was. Like, he's a freaking giant.
Hello. I'm just imagining him in the elimination, and then you have little Casey. It'll take like 2 Caseys just to be the same height as him.
Yeah. So what? More stuff is happening. I think we'll have it's turning out to be a really good season. I'm enjoying this cast a lot so far.
Yeah, very fun. It looks like we're going to get some Katie action next episode, which is great.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, about Katie in this season is there's going to be
good or bad.
I don't know where she places, but I've heard that she loses another friendship.
With who?
I don't know.
Who is she friends with in this cast?
I don't. A lot of people. She's pretty well insulated. So yeah. I didn't remember who she was fighting with in the preview, but that could be. I don't think she's friends with Steve.
I think the only thing is they have in common is they were on the same road rule season.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's something.
Yeah, maybe she is no longer.
Maybe that's the friendship she loses. Hopefully.
Yeah. But I'm rooting for Katie, so I want her to do well.
Yeah. We haven't gotten any Katie drama yet, so it'll be nice to see it. It might be it goes back to old Katie, where it's God, Inferno Katie.
I was just watching clips of Veronica recently, and I miss those feuds between everyone, including Veronica and Katie, and how those played out season after season.
Yeah.
With everyone trying to lose challenges to kick Katie off their team,
and it's not working because she keeps winning eliminations.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's like they don't realize the other team picks who goes into eliminations, and there's we need to throw the lifesaver to the person that they nominated so they can throw in fucking Katie.
Yeah.
And then Katie's the reason they win the season.
I almost think your move should be, if you're dealing with a team captain type of situation, quickly just go make a deal with the other team captains to say, I'll throw it for my team if you keep me safe.
Yeah. Jody's on the team. It's oh, Tina's team captain again? Derek, I'll lose on purpose if you can convince your team to keep me safe.
Especially if you arrange ahead of time, talk to your allies and be if you're team captains and I'm on the other team and I'm not a captain, I will lose for you. They should be doing that shit. That's absolutely the gameplay. You arrange to throw challenges to support the other your allies who are team captains, so you don't go in elimination.
Yeah. Well, I'm not somebody who's big on throwing challenges. I always feel like it's a waste.
Well, when you have a silly twist like this, you might as well game the system.
Yeah, but it looks like next episode is an individual challenge. They're bringing back trivia, it looks like.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and it's a heights challenge, so pray for Katie, Jasmine, Casey.
I am so looking forward to it.
Yeah, helmet. And it's being dropped off a building.
It'll be great.
Yeah, it's different from being dropped into water.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully we keep having some good content to talk about. This was 2 really rich episodes, I felt like.
Yeah. A lot of content, a lot of drama, a lot of emotions. When you think about it, these first 3 people were really pushed by the gays, because episode 1 we kind of got a lot of Derek, episode 2 we got a lot of Derek and some Tyler, and then this episode we got some Ryan moments.
Mm-hmm. Well, we haven't had a ton of Tyler. We'll see if Tyler becomes a bigger character as the season goes on.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And hopefully he does not get nominated or eliminated next episode, or else it really will be a straight show.
Yeah, but if we do anything based on last season, just because you're not very visible the first few episodes does not mean you won't win the game.
Yeah, or make the final. It seems like these days if you're casted, you'll probably make the final because half views will make it.
Yeah, well, there are 10 episodes this season. So if
10
they have
episodes,
8 eliminations,
that's 16 people leaving.
Yeah, which should mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ooh, that would be actually only 8 people in the final.
I think that would be good. I think 10 people was too much.
Yeah, and actually no, it was 12 at first, and then it was 10.
Yeah, that was too much. So yeah. I think they realize a smaller final will be better.
Yeah.
8 people seems like the right amount for a final.
Yeah. And hopefully it's 1 male winner, 1 female winner.
I hope so, or there's just a lot changed to how the final is structured to even it out.
Yeah, make it more like possible for a female to win.
Yeah, because I mean we've had finals where it's like I'm thinking back to, was it Battle of the Bloodlines or something, where Jenna and her sister, her cousin, yeah, thank you, her cousin were doing really well in the final against male-female pairs and male-male pairs. So they have done finals where it's even for the sexes, and so I believe they can do it. That last season was a total drop of the ball in that department, though.
Yeah, it was just very like stage, final leg up.
Yeah.
So hopefully this one is like more proper final, where it's like a lot of like mountain climbing, little puzzles in between, an overnight challenge.
Proportionate weight according to body size.
Yeah. Yeah, male, female winners.
Mm-hmm.
Even scoring.
Yeah.
Like challenge, you can't be homophobic and sexist.
Scoring, yeah. They haven't done scoring in a minute.
The last final was scoring because it was like first to finish gets 5, next 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mm.
It was just always in pairs. And then the final one was like, if you're a man, you're getting the highest points.
Yeah. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, hoping. Well, that's all we have for the challenge. Thanks everyone for watching. If you want to see more live reality games content, join the Facebook group, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on the socials. You know the jizz. And we will hopefully see you next week, if the episode will come out on time for me, for episode 4 of the Challenge All-Stars. Nathan, got anything else to say to the audience?
Not until next time.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye.